When was the last time you walked on the beach? You engaged with something in the natural environment, a place that you really, really love. Maybe it was a rainforest, maybe it was the beach, maybe it was a hike through the mountains. And when was the last time you engaged with someone in your community, perhaps your neighbour, a colleague, a friend, someone from your family? Maybe you gave a talk at a special meeting. This is all about your social ecology. Do you remember what it's like to be in those places for you? Do you really remember? You see, the word ecology is just so popular these days. And we're talking of these words about ecology, natural or social ecology. There's also the fact that in ecology, we can talk about ecology in business, and we can also talk about ecology and NLP. Is there a relationship? I wonder. Hi everyone, my name is Gina Palmer and I welcome you to this webinar. And I want you to know, if you haven't already worked it out, I'm passionate about ecology and I hope that you are too. So I wonder how many of you studied ecology at high school or as part of some form of non-traditional education. Maybe you got involved with a social or natural ecology project. I imagine most people have, because it brings me, and I'm sure it does for you as well, to the interactions that you had in the physical environment that you enjoyed, the interactions you had in your social environment, your social ecology that you enjoyed. So two things, natural and social ecology. I'd like to share with you some brief insights about two important concepts, and they are to do with ecology. One is ecology in the community, and two is ecology and NLP. Now, the focus of this very short webinar is going to be on these two principles. Now, why ecology and the community? Well, here you are, you're listening to this webinar, and I want you to think about what community actually means for you. Put yourself right into your own community, your world. You live in a community that you've chosen to be a part of. What are those connections you have in your community? How do you feel about that community? In what ways are you engaging? You learned as part of a community, everyone. You learned as part of a community in your trainings, in NLP. That was a community too. And now you're part of a global community with the boards. And by the way, anyone who's watching this right now who is not a member, I recommend that you get on with it and become a member. All you have to do is to go to the memberships on the ABH NLP website and enroll. It is so simple. So I want to dive a little more into ecology and community, and from a practical perspective, which is important. In the NLP community, you will have learned NLP with a trainer. You would have met other students in your trainings. You would have formed connections that last forever. You talk about NLP, perhaps you support each other. Maybe you go and participate in other trainings, or maybe you do exchange coaching. Perhaps you like to come together at special NLP events and so on. There are a myriad of opportunities for you to build strong connections, to grow the awareness and the connection with NLP in your communities. And in doing so, imagine that intricate, amazing strength of communities connecting globally, what that would do. So I'm wondering, you may already have a plan about building connections in your community. And I know many of you have built incredibly strong connections in your community already. And some of you are doing this in stages. It depends very much on communities you already had developed. Whatever you're doing, the growth of your communities actually starts with you. Your actions, yes, and you already know that. So why do connections and relationships even matter? Everyone, we are in a world of connections, and whether they are physical, face-to-face, or virtual, we are connecting just like we are right now. Every time we have a conversation with another person, we share food at the table with someone else, coaching, teaching, just talking to someone we meet at a park, we are connecting. And that connection is valuable. Did you know relationships can affect both the quality and quantity of mental health, health behavior, and physical health? That's right, relationships and connections. In fact, psychologists love researching and writing about social relationships and have been doing this for decades. What did you experience when the world went into lockdown due to that pandemic? What did your communities experience? What did nations experience? What did the world experience? That's right, it was social isolation. And what happened when the world was unlocked? How many people reconnected across nations, across the whole world? They couldn't wait to start traveling and be with other people. We're social organisms, everyone. Now, I mentioned quality relationships. What are they? And how are you part of this with your NLP toolbox? What about the quality of relationships in your communities? Now, this includes positive aspects of relationships such as emotional support provided by significant others. And aren't you a significant other in your community? You're an authority, aren't you? Now, this takes us to 3 broad ways that social connections work to influence well-being: behavioral well-being, psychosocial well-being, and physiological well-being. And by the way, everyone, I love reading psychology and wellness journals, and much of what I'm sharing with you today comes from that connection I have with my research. So here's this word again: connection. Connection with ecology, the ecology in the physical environment, the ecology of social environment. So here are some important points for you that you can use with your NLP toolbox and in your marketing. 1, health behaviors. Your social ties influence health behavior. Now, what does this even mean? Well, the psychologists report that greater involvement with formal and informal groups, associations, and the like result in more positive health behaviors. Now, this was a study conducted over 10 years. The results are incredible. How does this even happen? You are already knowing this anyway, because as a coach, what do your clients do? They talk about their problem and you help them to connect with their solution. Connection. What does this do for their inner wellness? Now, in your trainings or as you're coaching, what are you doing? You're helping your clients, you're helping your students to develop their knowledge and skills about NLP to become self-sufficient. And along the way, their neurology is changing, opening up those neural pathways. And as we all know, Deepak Chopra tells us, neurotransmitters bathe every cell. So as you find solutions to those problems and your clients find solutions to those problems, what changes do you think are happening to the neurotransmitters? Good question. I'll leave you to find out. 2, social ties provide information and create the norms that further influence health habits. Thus, in a variety of ways, social ties may influence health habits that in turn affect physical health and mortality. So what are those health habits that you know are important even for you? Now, if you haven't started building connections in your communities, where do you even start? How many lives have you seen change since you started learning NLP yourselves? 1, 2, 10, many? How many? How many lives are better now than they were before they worked with you in NLP Prac, Master Prac, as a trainer, as a master trainer, as a coach? How many? Have you ever stopped to think about the impact you're having in your community from a social point of view, from a social ecology viewpoint? You are the facilitator of someone's change. And at the same time, think of the changes that happen within you as a consequence. Now, just this little example of you working with others is what we call healthy community interactions. It's ecology. And you're doing this all the time. You're doing it every day. Think about it. You are leading change at the community level. How good is that? Is that meaningful or not? I think it is. You are using NLP toolbox that you have, that you've been building to bring about healthy changes in communities in which you work. And what do you suppose are the consequences of that? Changes to lives at the professional and personal level, impacting your communities through social ecology. You have an incredible story to tell everyone. Anyone who's listening, anyone's watching, how are you sharing this story about change and you being that change guide in your community? And don't think, oh, I'm already influencing change in my communities and, you know, I'm at that point where I really don't need to do any more. Well, you are. But who knows about it? What more can you do? You're a change agent. You're a change leader. There are billions of people on this planet, and you are lighthouses, providing the solutions to their problems. Now, I want to share with you 3 key actions that you can take immediately to strengthen your connection with your community. 1, write a post for your socials, acknowledging your gratitude for the connections you already have with your community. Gratitude Day. 2, reach out to your students, your clients, and those you've worked with and acknowledge the amazing progress they've made. And 3, write your own blog about connections, your own post about connections in your communities and well-being, and post it. And there's one more. I want to see you at the Hypnosis Conference this year in September. It's happening, it's the 13th and 14th of September, being hosted by the boards. It's via Zoom. The lineup of speakers is growing and sure to be value-packed for you. So if you want to register, I encourage you to go to the American Board of Hypnosis, American Board of NLP website and get more information and register. And you can also go to the Facebook page of the American Board of Hypnosis. On that Facebook page, become a member, join it, and sign up for that conference coming up. Thank you so much for joining me today. I look forward to meeting you soon, and I certainly look forward to seeing you at some of the events that the boards will be running. Bye for now.